prayer position, we'll go ahead and transition to a comfortable seated position. When we sit in yoga, we can sit with legs crossed or again, however you're comfortable. We want to go ahead and relax the shoulders down and sit up nice and tall through the top of the head. Again, we might sit here breathing and relaxing for a few moments. The seated series of stretches is meant after you've done a warm-up, so please don't do these stretches cold. As we sit and breathe, we might connect 2 or more fingers here, whichever fingers you like. We might open the palms, or we might turn the hands down if we'd like to feel more grounded. So let's take about 3 deep breaths here. Again, relaxing shoulders down, sitting tall through the top of the head. Eyes closed or open as you like. Again, we want to keep the shoulders relaxing down, making a little bit more room between the ears and the shoulders. And again, we can sit and breathe as long as we like. When we're ready, we're going to bring one leg straight out to the side. And again, sitting up nice and tall. We're going to open into this long leg and then slide the chest open. So the hand might stay here on the shoulder if that's where you're comfortable, or we might open that wingspan. We're going to rotate the upper body away from the lower body and look up to that hand. And we can find that nice gentle rotation, a big stretch through the inner thighs, through the hamstrings, through the chest, the rib cage. So again, we're breathing and opening here. We might stay just like this, or we might inhale to open, and we might exhale and close that arm. Again, we can flow or stay, inhaling to open, and exhaling to close. Inhaling to open, exhaling to close. And one more time, inhaling to open, and exhaling to close. We might stay closed here. The other arm can come around to the floor or to the low back behind us, and just finding that gentle stretch through that twist. In all of these deep stretches, we want to keep breathing nice, deep inhales and exhales, in through the nose, out through the nose. When we're ready to transition from this stretch, we'll bring the hand back down to the floor, and then gently open that arm and open the chest. We're going to move that front foot a little further forward, and that long leg is going to bend behind us. So this is a version of the pigeon, a hip opener. So we want to have basically 2 triangles, one in front and one behind. Both feet can generally be flexed. We're going to turn the upper body, chest open toward the inside of the shin. So we want about a 90-degree angle there. Now, as we're sitting up here, we might press up off of the floor, and we're going to feel more of that stretch in the back hip. We can always stay here, or as we breathe, we can start to hinge that forward. As we hinge forward, keeping chest open to the inside of that shin, we're going to feel that stretch come into that front hip and glute. And again, that might just be a few inches, continuing to breathe. We want just a gentle tension, no pain when we do these stretches. Hands can move in front of us. Now we can also always use props here. We might find a block, for instance, and rest on that block or a pillow or whatever feels good to you. We might continue that stretch, relaxing and releasing down. And we want to just breathe and relax here. Nice deep inhales and exhales. And we want to stay long enough to find that just kind of gentle release into that stretch. We want to know when to push ourselves and when to back off. If it hurts, we don't want to do it. So again, staying with that modified pigeon as long as we like. When we're ready, we're going to gently lift that upper body back up, coming back up to the center, taking a big inhale. We're going to take that leg behind us, and we're going to bring it around to the front. This other leg is going to come just right inside of that leg. And we might start by just pushing up from behind, and we might stay here the whole time. We can flex or just relax that front foot. Again, letting that knee open, both sits bones to the floor. Again, inhaling, lengthening, we might start to hinge forward. Hands can stay behind, or they can move by the sides of the legs. Again, as we're breathing, we might just hinge that forward a few inches. We might continue to stay here. We might continue to hinge. We might bring the hands to the foot. Remembering that there's not necessarily the right way to do this. We want to find that gentle tension, no pain, from the low back through the hamstrings all the way down into that heel. Again, breathing and holding that stretch as long as we like. When we're ready, we're going to gently transition out of this. Now, I'm not holding these stretches long enough. I'm demonstrating these stretches to get the best effects. You want to hold them a bit longer. So crossing that leg over, sitting up nice and tall, hands can be on the shin, relaxing shoulders down. So that foot can always stay inside the leg if that's a better place for it, or again, crossing it over. We're going to stay nice and long through the spine, again, letting shoulders release down. We can stay right here center, or we can twist toward that long leg. We might open the shoulder behind us, and we might even bring the arm outside. So we want to rotate and open. We want to stay nice and tall through the top of the head. We can hold onto that leg. We don't want to put pressure on the knee, but above or below the knee is a good place to be. And again, we're going to breathe. And again, we'll find that stretch as long as we like, coming back to the center when we're ready. This leg that's crossed over, we're going to reach for that ankle, and we can just cradle the ankle and let that knee open. So again, we want to stay sitting nice and tall. We don't want to let this sink down. Stay tall, and that heel might be right here, or we might lift it up a little bit more. Again, where that feels comfortable, let that knee open. It might even come down and rest on the thigh and hinge forward a little bit, really opening that hip and increasing that stretch. So again, cradling that ankle where it feels good to you. Let's take a couple more deep breaths. So when we're ready to transition, we're going to bring that leg out nice and long so we can shake that out a little bit, pressing up from behind, give the toes a little wriggle. Again, inhale, sit nice and tall, hinging that forward if we like. Hands again can be by the sides of the legs. I like to place them under my legs sometimes, hinging forward. Again, from the low back through to the heels, and again, we might reach out for the feet if that feels good. Breathing, releasing, relaxing shoulders, and again, staying with that stretch. Generally 3 to 5 nice, deep, long breaths in through the nose, out through the nose, and transitioning when you're ready. We'll come back to a comfortable seated position. So if you sat in that cross leg before with one leg in front, you might just switch the legs wherever that's comfortable for you. And again, we want to come back to that seated position. We're going to do that same series on the other side. Again, tall through the top of the head, relaxing the shoulders down. Taking as many breaths here as we like with hands, however that position feels good for us. And transitioning here between, let's take a big inhale, scooping up. Exhale, letting that wash down, and then bringing both hands down to the earth, finding a big inhale here. Lifting back up, sliding hands toward us, inhaling up. Let's open the arms and bring the hands behind us, fingers facing toward us or fist for wrists, and just leaning back into the hands, lifting the chest, looking up toward the sky and taking a big inhale. A little bend in the elbows, and then lifting the chest, hinging forward and back to center. So again, breathing here as long as we like. In through the nose, out through the nose. And then when we're ready, we'll transition, bringing that other leg straight out, other leg bent in. Again, we want both sits bones to the floor. And again, gentle tension, no pain. Flexing that foot or relaxing that foot. Again, we're going to open into that long leg, sliding the chest open. Again, hand can stay on the shoulder, or we can open that wingspan, finding that gentle rotation away from the lower body. Breathing, opening the chest here, looking up toward the hand of the sky. Again, we might just stay here and stretch. We're going to feel a lot of that in that opposite side, hip and into the torso. So we're going to inhale, open, and then exhale and close. Again, inhale and open. Exhale and close. Inhale and open. Exhale and close. And one more time. Inhale and open. Exhale and close. And again, we might stay here. That other arm might come behind the leg, hand to the floor, or hand to the low back. And again, just finding that little twist and reach. Hip through the fingers, big stretch. Again, staying here as long as we like. When we're ready, hand to the floor and lifting up, opening that arm. We're going to take that front foot, move it out, and bring that other leg back behind us. Again, we're looking for those two triangles, one behind us, one in front. Flexing this front foot, and again, we want a good, about a 90-degree angle there if we can. And that shin here is where we're going to open the chest, so we could be more center, feeling that back hip, rotating that upper body, chest toward the inside of the shin. Again, as we sit here, feeling that stretch behind us, modified pigeon. Inhaling, and again, that might just be a very, very small lean forward. We might continue to hinge forward. We might bring that part way. We might use a block or any other prop. Pillows. You can always place pillows under this knee or behind this knee, wherever that feels good to you. And again, hinging forward. Again, we want that gentle tension, no pain. This is a hip opener. So again, as we hinge forward, feeling most of that stretch in that front hip, glute, and low back. And again, we're breathing and relaxing here. And again, we want to stay here for a good 3 to 5 deep breaths, gentle tension, no pain. We want to breathe nice deep breaths into any tension we find. Again, staying there as long as we like, and then gently bringing that back up to the center. Inhale here, take that back leg, bring it around to the front. Again, that foot can come right inside the leg. Sits bones to the floor, let that knee open, chest opening toward that front leg. Again, we might press up from behind, or we might hinge that forward. Hands can come by the legs. Again, hinging where that's comfortable and reaching for the foot. And again, it's not necessarily our goal to reach for the foot. If you can reach there and you like it and it feels good, that's great. Otherwise, we're just moving toward that position, finding that stretch where it meets you today. So we're breathing and continuing to relax into that stretch, gentle tension. Again, staying there 3 to 5 deep breaths, and then gently bringing that back up when we're ready. You can always pause the video and breathe more. So again, bringing that other leg inside or outside, sitting up nice and tall, hands to the shin, relaxing, shoulders down. Again, big stretch through that hip and glute. And again, we might stay here. We might rotate toward that leg. We might open that back shoulder, and we might bring the hand outside the thigh. So spinal twist here. Again, breathing, lengthening, relaxing shoulders. And again, staying here for a few deep breaths. When we're ready, we're going to bring that back to the center. Again, we're going to cradle that ankle, and it might stay right here, lifting or lowering, lengthening the spine. Again, wherever that feels good to you, really opening that hip and challenging that little glute stretch. Inhaling and exhaling. So again, staying with that cradle as long as we like. When we're ready, we'll release that leg, bring it back down. And again, we might shake it out a little bit, pressing up from behind, giving the toes a little wiggle. And then nice and tall, hinging forward. Again, arms can be by our sides, behind, or reaching out for the feet, again, into this seated forward fold. Find that stretch from the low back down through the heels and breathe. And then when we're ready, we'll gently bring this up. And again, finding a comfortable seated position. So here in seated, we'll do a couple more stretches. Again, we can open the palms as we like and take a few more deep breaths. When we're ready, we're going to bring one arm up into the center. The other arm comes around, and we can either just give ourselves a hug and relax the shoulders, even rounding in, or we can find eagle arms, wrapping that arm around the other arm, holding those hands here. Again, shoulders release down. We're breathing. Inhaling, open when we're ready. Exhaling out. Other arm comes up and again to the center. And again, we might just wrap and give ourselves a hug, relax shoulders and look down. Or wrapping eagle arms and lifting elbows, relaxing shoulders down, staying tall through the top of the head and breathing. Again, holding that stretch as long as we like, and then inhaling up and exhaling out. Relaxing shoulders down. We can bring the hands all the way to the floor if we like. Inhale, and then bringing the chin down to the chest. We'll just gently roll the head side to side, ear to shoulder a few times. And then tilting the head to one side, we can reach out through that opposite arm and increase that stretch from the ear through the neck down through the shoulder. Releasing chin back to the chest and over to the other side. Again, we can reach out through that opposite arm, ear through the neck, down into the shoulder. Again, breathing and holding there as long as we like. Gently bringing the chin back to the chest when we're ready, and the head comes up. We might just turn the head side to side a few times. So concluding this next section here, we might just stay here and breathe. In through the nose, out through the nose. Or we might transition down to the floor onto our backs. I'm just going to turn to the side so you can see better. You can go right back onto your mat. So if we like, we might bring the knees to the chest and gently rock that down to the mat. And we can bring knees to the chest. We can gently rock that side to side, massaging the low back. Knees come closer to move that massage higher. Knees come further to move that massage lower. And again, we might just stay here and breathe. We might bring the feet down to the mat, and then we're ready for the next series. Again, we might just breathe here, maybe practicing that 3-part breath. In